Hello, everyone. It's Brittany. So the problem that I'm going to be touching on today is veteran homelessness and the increasing rates of homelessness within the veteran community. The desired outcome, obviously, is to decrease homelessness and provide resources and housing for homeless veterans here in the United States. Well, the ultimate social justice outcome, of course, is the improvement of homelessness for veterans, which include providing resources, funding, and housing needs for veterans, while also increasing and creating the policies that protect and advocate for veterans in this country. The first resource that we have here that I have listed is the resource of social workers, in which they are useful for providing therapeutic services to veterans and can work alongside the Veterans Affairs to help locate and allocate resources for those in need. Right now, over the last decade, the rates of homelessness for veterans have decreased almost in half, going from around 80,000 to 40,000, so that's definitely a plus. However, those numbers are increasing again in terms of the rates of homelessness, whether that can be attributed to the current pandemic that we are in, but also the recession that we are kind of facing. So those rates are kind of going up again. And so social workers are in a great position to kind of help advocate for veterans and just provide some therapeutic services to help, give a sense of belonging and hope and just be an overall advocate for veterans. One of the short-term outcomes is obviously just giving a sense of hope to those who are homeless or who are at risk of becoming homeless. And the medium outcomes would be just veterans feeling that, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but also being able to participate and be an active member in their well-being, as well as problem solving for the community as a whole and for other veterans who are also facing the risk of being homeless or who are currently homeless. And then, of course, the long-term goal for the social worker is just providing resources and advocacy for the veterans, while also helping educate the public on ways that they can influence policy that protects and supports veterans who face homelessness or who are currently homeless right now. And again, back to the overall outcome is just to improve, the rates of homelessness and just to provide funding and housing and clothing and food for homeless veterans, for these people who fight for our country. The second resource that I gave was legislators, and we can see that legislators have the responsibility to create bills and enact laws that provide services for homeless veterans. And one way in which they can do that, kind of a short-term goal, is just giving access to resources and other programs that aid in decreasing the rates of homelessness. And legislators can work alongside social workers to get this unique perspective about homeless veterans that can help aid policies. So that's another way that social workers can be of help and a resource to homeless veterans. And then just another way that legislators can be of use is to advocate and establish federally funded programs that limit veteran homelessness and, creating laws to protect those who have fought and protected our country. In any way that could be, and that's housing or any other kind of resource or programs that can help social workers and other community members just advocate for homeless veterans. And then finally, the third resource that I have added for this population is the community. A lot of the times where we see now that veterans who come out of homelessness or who have adequate access to resources are because of the members of the community, hosting clothing drives and food drives and building different kind of structures so that veterans or any people in the community don't have to face homelessness. It's a great way for them to advocate for themselves and also for the other members of the community who are facing homelessness. The one thing that's great about the community as a resource is that they can provide immediate resources such as food and clothes for the homeless veterans in their communities. But then also, they also provide that sense of hope and being able to actively participate in their well-being and problem solving as far as it goes for decreasing the homelessness rates of veterans. And a sort of a long-term goal for the community is to be just advocates and to advocate for those in the community, because they too, like social workers, have a unique perspective on what's going on, and they see firsthand how things are happening. So I think that's a really great resource that we have as a community. And, it starts at home, and it starts on a smaller scale to be able to work up toward, the bigger legislators and things like that. So I hope that you guys like these resources and the ideas that I've kind of come up with, and I can't wait to read about everyone else's. Thank you.